All right. I think we are almost live. All right. Okay, welcome to our Helper Dog class. I'm Yo from Canine Learning Academy, and this is class 2 of our Helper Dog series. Today, we're going to be teaching your dog the task of how to help out with laundry. So imagine you come home from a long day and you sit down on your favorite chair and you fold up your legs and your dog takes your socks off and places them in the hamper for you. So that is going to be the task we're going to do today, as well as maybe teaching them to separate the darks and the lights and putting them into two different laundry baskets. Let me go ahead and share my screen so that I can give me a thumbs up, Deanie, if you can see the shared screen. All right, perfect. So, helper dog, intro to task training, and each week we're going to tackle a new task, or maybe it'll take a couple classes. So, today's agenda, we're going to learn today the skill of pull, skill of drop, and hold. Those are three skills, so behaviors that are part of a longer chain of events or chain of skills to teach the dog a much bigger task, such as helping with laundry. I'm going to go into how to chain those things together, and we'll focus on all the different ways that your dog can help you with laundry day. And then we're going to go into a live practice with Deanie and her dog Bella. So helper dogs are sometimes they are service animals that are actually able to assist you for whatever reason. Maybe you've pulled a muscle in your lower back, or maybe it hurts. You had a knee surgery just recently, or maybe that you notice that you are, losing. In my case, I've lost a lot of my hearing. So I train my dog to be the task of being able to help me hear things, especially when someone's like calling my name or if there's an emergency alarm that's going off in let's say in the kitchen that I can't hear, or my phone alarm, or phone ringing, things like that. So there's lots of different ways that your dog can help you, but this particular class is doing it for fun and maybe not necessarily a service animal, but have fun teaching your dog some things that they can do to just help you in one way or another, whether it's bending over or actually doing the skill. Just have fun with it. Helper dogs can include things that they do, like picking things up. They can push buttons, pull things open. They can target objects. They obviously can deliver items either to you or to another location or spot. But it does keep your dog to stay connected, focused, and it just gives them a job to do. So especially for our dogs that are wanting to earn their keep, this is a great thing to practice with your dog. So let's start off with just a simple warm up. It's important today. We are going to be teaching pull or practicing pull. Some of you have already done this before, but we're going to teach pull, which is a standing position, and they're really having to use their neck and their jaw. So a lot of mouth things. But before we begin, let me have you, Deanie, just warm up with your dog. Some sit down stance, spin. Bella might not be able to reach the hamper, and you've got Bonnie there. So maybe you also warm up the neck, left and right turns, just to get them warmed up. So let's give you a couple minutes to warm up, and let's have you warm up both dogs here. While she warms up, let me go over what you'll need for today's class. So for today's class, you'll want a long rope or toy, preferably made out of fleece, something that's easy for them to put in their mouth. Look at Bella. She's so cute. Um, we used a long piece of material fleece and then put some knots in it to teach pull. But anything you have, even a tube sock is a great option. You'll also want a sock of some kind. The longer, the bigger, the looser, the better versus a tight, small, skinny sock because you are going to put that on your foot. You'll also want something for them to put it into. So you'll see in the video that I used my pink hamper, but you can use a salad bowl, a plate, and it looks like Deanie's got a little pop-up basket right there. And then a variety of clothes that your dog is allowed to put in their mouths. So I used and I'm using dark and light clothes because I'm going to show you how to separate the hampers. It looks like Deanie just pulled out another bucket, possibly for her other dog, but we're going to have some fun teaching. I do not expect anybody to get all the way through, although probably Deanie and Bella and possibly Deanie and Bonnie teach it this task all the way through. This takes multiple repetitions, and for every one of the big tasks, there's small little steps to get there, and we're going to break it down as small as steps as possible. The main thing is just get the idea, grasp the idea of it, and then we can kind of go from there. All right, let's give the dogs the all done cue. It's important to warm up your dogs just like you would warm up yourself for anything. And she's got a nice cozy chair and all of that. So let's start with the first skill called pull. All right. So the skill pull, the behavior pull, is where you can cue your dog to pull and they grip it with their mouth and they back up to actually get that pull to do something. So think about it. They have to use their teeth to put the item in their mouth. Then standing, they have to back up and really give it a nice, good tug. For a small dog like Bandit and Bonnie, this might be challenging. So I do recommend using a floor that has traction, not a slippery floor. If you've got a nervous or shy dog, you're going to want to have maybe a carpeted floor so that there's even more like a soft cushion underneath. For older dogs, especially. So no slippery floors for this. We want them to have a really good grip. Things that you could put on the floor around the house is just like a little rubber mat that you would normally put maybe in your bathroom. A bath mat might even work. Um, Anything that you can think of that gives your dog just a little bit of traction. Another one, teaching this while standing is helpful. So you'll see in the video, I actually have Melda teaching it from scratch, and she was having her dog lay down, but he is an athletic dog and he does get overly excited. So this is great for overly excited dogs when we get to teaching pull. Let's see. So one of the ways we teach it is we have you place a fleece. This is a little fleece blanket. She put a couple knots in there. She did this really quick this morning. She presents it from behind. When your dog is looking, go ahead and present it right in front of your dog's face. The moment that they look at it, touch it, nose it, just interact in any way, they don't even have to touch it. Mark, reward, and then place the tug toy or rope behind your back. Continue to do this over and over. Gradually delay your click, your mark, so that you get a stronger pull. So what she's doing here, she's delaying her marker a little bit more and more. And what we're seeing is a longer, bigger pull, more of a backup. Now she's got him standing. Good. This doesn't have to be perfect. She had a really big piece of material in her hand, but the mechanic wise looks really good. Once you have this behavior happening while in your first position, go ahead and stand up because again, eventually we're going to tie this over a tree. We're going to, not a tree, but a door. We might put it on the refrigerator. In this case, this is going to turn into a pull for a sock, take off your sock trick. All right. I'm going to stop the video here, stop share, and let's see you practice this, Deanie and John, maybe. Oh, very good. We'll go into the sock part in just a minute. We'll talk about the location. All right, getting down to your dog's level, present the tug toy or rope right in front of your dog's mouth. You might even want to shake it a little bit to give it a little more excitement. Wad it all the way up in your hand and only present a little bit. Now, the moment that they look at it or touch it or put their teeth on it, go ahead and mark and reward. Repeat that a few times, delaying your mark, and see if you can get your dog to put their entire mouth on it, starting off with just pull, then a little more pull. You can ask for more. Shake it, John. So shake the toy versus just presenting it closer and closer. Nice. Good. Now, Deanie, just present the end of yours and have the rest of that rope wadded in your hand and see if Bonnie or Bella can pull the length of that rope. Nice. Once you have the behavior happening, next step is to put it on cue. Common cue for this is pull, and then you can point to the rope. Now, let's generalize it. Deanie, go ahead and stand up. John, go ahead and sit down. See if you can still get the behavior on cue. Nice. Mark, John, and reward so that you can keep Bonnie motivated. Now, this beautiful pull right there. This is a more challenging. This is an advanced version of doing this because you've got multiple dogs in the household, which can be very distracting, but they're doing amazing. All right, guys, I think we're good here. We've got a good pull. Give your dog the all done cue. Good. Put your rope toy away and let's go on to the next skill. The next skill is called hold. This is where you present something like in this picture, this dog is holding a flat envelope and they calmly hold it in their mouth, not chewing, totally sitting still. Start with durations of just getting them to put it in their mouth, then 1 to 2 seconds, and then eventually they'll hold the object, whatever object you present to them, even a slice of pizza, until released. So before you begin, you're going to want to grab something that your dog's okay with putting in their mouth. But before you begin, let me go through the steps really quickly. So, step one, interact with the object in any way. That means looking at it, nosing it, anything. Click and treat. Same way that you just did pool, you're presenting it right in front of their mouth. Then, when you present it in front of their mouth, when they open their mouth and make contact, you're going to mark and reward. Then you're going to have them open their mouth and they're going to pull it out of your hand. You're going to mark while it's still in their mouth before they drop, and then mark and reward. Then you'll get the full lift. And then here's the hard part is they've got it in their mouth and they hold it for 1 second. Then you click, and then we're going to build up to 2 to 3 seconds. So let's just get the beginning of this behavior happening, the hold. So this is not throwing it. This is simply presenting it. You can use a pen or something. I actually like that tug toy that you just used, John, that little tug toy like that that's flat. Perfect. Present it with two hands right in front of the dog's mouth, just like that. Keep it still and let Bonnie or Bella come to you. So place it behind your back to begin. When you're ready, you're going to present that tug toy right in front of the dog's face. And let's get started. So they're teaching right in front of her face, a little bit lower. Nice. Mark, place it back behind your back and reward. Teeny, how'd you get John to come and practice? You taking him to lunch after or something? Good. Good. Place the toy behind your back, John, each time, or just, yeah, on the couch or something. You want to present it, two hands. Very good pull. Remember to let go of it because the goal is they put it in their mouth and they hold. They don't have to sit or lay down. So Deanie's got a with Bella, she's got a hold and she's bringing it back. So she's already got a 2 second. There's one, two, beautiful. She's got a 2 second hold. Now, Deanie, see if you can get Bella to stay still, not just a fetch. So I would do that. Wait. Once she grabs it, then go wait and see if she freezes. Common key for this one is take it, hold, freeze. Once it's in their mouth, you're just getting them to hold it. Good. 30 seconds here. Good. I love the enthusiasm. I love that it's super positive. No big high expectations. Just put it in your mouth and hold it right there. Good freeze. Another way to teach it is just when the dog does something, you tell them to hold or freeze, and they just kind of like freeze with it in their mouth. So if the timing is really good, you can possibly get them to just stay put while it's in their mouth. Good job. All right. Give your dog the all done cue. So gradually build duration in this. And this has been always a tough one for my dogs as well. I think Bella's doing much better than last year. Great job with Bonnie. Build longer and longer duration and vary the object when you're ready. Okay, the next one, I'm only going to talk about it. This skill is called drop. Both of these dogs and most of our dogs have a drop. And before we go into any of the task training of the laundry, you do need to have a strong fetch. So drop means anything that's in your dog's mouth, they're able to drop on cue, whether it's in your hand or in today's case, over to another location. So you're bringing it over to a spot and then you're asking them to drop it there. So, rules on drop is if you constantly follow your dog around with your hand and make it not fun for them to drop, meaning you go and you pull it out of their mouth for whatever reason, maybe it's dangerous, you're not going to get that behavior happening very often because your dog is like, yeah, no, I'm just, that's not happening. So if you want your dog to love dropping things for you and fetching things for you, you're going to want to make sure there is a history of a positive experience around dropping things on cue versus you pulling things out of their mouth. The skill of drop, one way to teach it is called the two toy method. This is where you play tug with one rope toy, let them win so that they walk away carrying it in their mouth. Then you initiate a drop by showing them the next toy and getting them to tug, in which they're supposed to spit out the first toy to get to the second toy. So that is one option for teaching drop. I recommend, if you've never done this before you move on to the next skill that we're going to be doing and putting the whole task together, that you get this really reliable. Okay, so let's go on to our chaining task today. Helping with laundry day. So I wrote some of these things down, Deanie, and we can always add to it. But for this month, I figured we can remove dirty socks and place them in the hamper. How would that help you? Would that be amazing? So, put other dirty clothes into the hamper. So, like, you'll see these two baskets here, and you'll see in a video in a little bit, I've got two baskets of dark and light. So, dividing up the clothes and putting them in the correct hamper. Putting clothes from the hamper into the washing machine is an option for some dogs. Turning on the washing machine, so that's your push button thing, and then removing clean clothes from the dryer and place them into a clean hamper. Now, I don't recommend teaching your dog to put their head into the washing machine or dryer, just in case, God forbid, they're like, oh yeah, this was amazing, and they do it on a regular basis. But just, if you really needed this task, you'll understand like how to teach it from scratch. So, first one we're going to go into is the task called removing your dirty socks. I'm going to play this video. I'm going to talk you through it, and then we're going to have you guys practice this. So, you come home, you place your feet up on an ottoman, and your dog takes off their socks and they put it right into a dirty hamper that you have set aside already by the door. Ideally, that is what we're looking to do. So, first skill is removing the sock. Second skill is bring the sock to the hamper. Third skill is drop it in the hamper. So to teach this from scratch, let's first teach the dog to remove the socks from your foot. Start off with placing the sock, just like you did the tug toy, in your hand, and present it to your dog and whatever they do, mark and reward. Eventually, you're asking for a stronger pull so that it can be removed from your hand. Once they have it done pretty well on your hand, you're going to place that same sock on your arm or on your hand all the way. You're going to pull it off just like you would if you were putting it on your foot. Same concept, present it, let them pull it from there. Now, this is where it gets tricky. Put it at the end of your toe. That's your third step, is placing that sock at the end of your toe and presenting it right in front of your dog's face. Now, you might need to shake your toe a little bit to get that happening, but the goal is when you present your foot with a shake, with a sock that's kind of shaking, they take it off. Once reliable, you can put this on a cue like remove my socks or take off my socks. Okay, so let's start with that. All right, so let's see you practice the sock. Now here, one other thing is that wherever you want this pattern to be picked up, so I like that chair by the door, I would sit on that same chair and teach this trick. So if John comes home, sits down, and he teaches the trick from that one specific spot, we want to teach it from that same spot. Place the hamper over to one side. We're going to do that next. For now, let's get the socks coming off those feet. Dirty socks. All right, go ahead and get started. So start off by presenting your sock from your hand. It's just, you just have it in your hand, wad it up just like you did that toy, that tug toy. Nice. Mark and reward. Once they're pulling the sock from your hand, now you're going to put the sock over your arm. Good. Good, Deanie. Click and treat for all interactions. And then eventually you're asking for more. So you're going to delay it and let them pull that sock easily from your hand. And celebrate. Good job, Bella. Good job, Bonnie. Beautiful. Once they pull the sock all the way off your arm, you're ready to put it on. And I would keep your socks on and place your dirty sock over your clean sock. So I would keep your socks on your feet so they don't accidentally grab your toes, and only the end of your toe, Deanie. There you go. Okay, John, you're ready to put that sock across over your arm. There you go. All right. While you guys continue to practice, I'm going to move on to the next part, but keep going, Deanie and John. All right. Now that your dog is taking the sock off of your foot, the next thing is that your dog brings that sock to your hand. And then you're going to take the laundry basket that you want them to put it in, and you're going to place that laundry basket right next to you. So here we have in the video, I am using my hand, presenting my hand, telling my dog to bring it here, bring that dirty sock here, and then I'm asking to drop. So my cues are bring it and then drop. With high repetitions, there's me guiding my dog by gently helping them. So you'll see me lean into it. And now I'm pointing to where I want my dog to drop that sock. Instead of open hand, now I'm simply pointing. And through a lot of repetitions, your dog will then be able to do this. After you get one full sock down, next step is to ask for more. So then ask them to take off both socks. So here we have in the video, one sock, puts it in the laundry basket, and second sock. And you see me removing my sock a little bit to make it easier. And there's two socks into the dirty hamper. Nice. All right, let me check on you guys and see how you're doing. All right, John, you're ready to take that hamper and put it right next to you, maybe on your right side so I can see it. And after Bonnie removes the sock, you're going to ask her to fetch and bring it to you, and you're going to have your hand right over the hamper. So it's fetch to hand. And now Deanie and Bella, you're just pointing to it. Good. Wiggle your toe a little bit, John. Bonnie's like, I don't want those dirty socks in my face. Good. Now ask for a fetch. There you go. Whoops. First fetch. Wait for she to put it in her mouth. Now, after it's in her mouth, go ahead and, yeah, shake it a little bit. Yeah, there you go. You'll need to keep your palm open, up, and then over the hamper. So maybe move the hamper closer to the couch so you can just lean over. Let's do this for one more minute and see how far you guys can get. So cute. Nice. Okay, Dina, you're ready for two socks now. And I like the cue, Deanie, where you're crossing your legs, cross leg one, cross leg two, and see if you can put those things together. Now, Deanie is using some helper cues at first. A helper cue is like an additional cue. Like you have your first cue, which is the signal you really, really want to use. A helper cue is like reminders of what, how to help them get to the final behavior. So the three skills they're doing here is a pull, a carry, and a drop. Good. Stay right there, John. You're fine. Just wiggle your toe. Maybe put your heel on the floor and now just wiggle it. Wiggle your toe. There you go. Take your hand and wiggle the end of the sock instead of your foot in her face. Let's go back a little bit. You can tell by Bonnie's body language, she's a little bit shy because she's feeling like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. So we want to take it back a step. There we go. So that we can keep them motivated. All right. Finish up the last one and then give your dog the all done cue. Good. So now let's do something a little different so that they can get a break because we're basically going to do this again, but we're going to do laundry and we're going to use different hampers. So there'll be two hampers. So before we do that, let's just do some jumps, some spin, dancing with your dog. So put the hampers and socks away for a second, put it up on top of the couch and do something completely different that's not mouth related. So jumping, sit down, spin, um, middle, peekaboo, just have a little fun. Let's do a 2-minute clock. Now, it's important to break things up because the skill, when they're learning something, you saw Bonnie get a little frustrated there. She's kind of shut down. So then we want to go back to things that they do know, like, oh, yeah, I know what this is. It helps to build their confidence. It helps them to want to do it and stay motivated. Then we can go back to teaching something brand new. That's cute, John. But when they're learning something new, their brains are trying to process the information and it can get frustrating when they feel like I don't know how to do this or I'm not getting it. And that delayed click, that delayed mark can make some nervous dogs frustrated because they feel like they're just not doing it and you're getting upset, even though you're not getting upset. So some easy wins. Oh, that's cute. Little flips there from Bonnie. Bonnie's a little Bella, but just half her size or 1/3 of her size. So cute. Cute Habanese. Bella is an Aussie doodle, so she's like Bentley and Hannah B's dog, Sunny. And Bonnie is a Havanese, like Pepper and Jack and Jordan. All right, guys, let's let the dogs take a break, give them the all done cue. And now we're going to teach the next task. Make sure they have plenty of water. You guys can take a break too. Let me go ahead and share my screen. All right. The next one is teaching a dog to pick up dirty clothes and place from the floor and place them into different hampers. So here I'm sitting in the middle and I have two hampers. They're actually labeled dirty and clean, but it's hard to read it. Now you're seeing me do that. I'm teaching this from the very beginning with Bentley here. To teach from scratch, we first want to get your dog to take things off the floor and place them into the hamper, just like we're doing now, except that we're teaching that from the floor. So I'm going to roll a black sock away and I'm going to ask my dog to carry it, bring it to my hand and drop it into my hand. That's your step one. Now you guys have that. You'll see I moved really quickly. Next is to pull that hamper closer to you. Use your hand as a guide so that they know where it is that you want them to drop the object. Gradually lift your hand up and over. Now here's the big one for a small dog is make sure they're comfortable putting their head up and over the lip of your laundry basket. You might even need to, like I am here, roll it down to make it smaller or use a flat plate or basket. Rather than give them something that they have to stand on to get their laundry in there, just try to create a smaller object for them to put it in. So you just try to get that behavior happening first. Now, once your dog is able to take the dirty clothes and place it in the hamper, you're going to ask for a little bit more. In this case, I'm lifting up the laundry basket hamper up higher and higher to get my dog to really be precise on putting the object in the hamper. So he's having to lift his head up. You'll see him lift his head up to get it up and over. Now, multiple items. So a bunch of dirty clothes. Now I am standing up and generalizing it pretty quickly. So let's first get there before we go into separating darks and lights. Okay. All right. Dirty clothes from the floor into a hamper. Let's start with just, you guys will get this pretty quick. You could probably do this in about a minute or a minute and a half. One hamper. Great. So simple. Good. Now, Verily, clean up your cues because we're going to ask for focus so that she can hear you when you say dark and light clothes. Okay. So focus first, then cue, release her to go do it, and then mark and reward. Let's make sure so right now, she's got two objects. Don't worry about the dark and light now. Just get that she's doing multiple objects, but she's listening first, which she is doing such an amazing job. Good, mark and reward. And then the next object. Too easy. Good. All right. So let's move on to dark and light. So big, little, dark, light. We can do that. Teach them to understand the difference between different objects. So at the very beginning, do you guys remember teaching this in a different context? We did it with crates, left, right. Remember concept training? So you're going to sit down and place two baskets on your left and right and separate your darks from your lights. So dark on one side, lights on the other. Then I'm going to ask for the fetch and drop into the specific hamper. I'm going to lean into it. I'm also changing hands, Deanie. So I'm trying to reward with the same side hand for the darks and reward. Look at I'm ask for focus first and then the same side hand for the light. Light close, dark close. See me switch the clicker here again. And I'm saying focus first and now fetch the dark, put it in the dark, fetch the light, put it in the light. So you're going to go back and forth. They have no idea what you're doing yet, but through more repetitions. Now, here's when I start to actually add a cue. I say, dark, put it away, light, put it away, dark, put it away, light, put it away. And then eventually, without having to point or lean, I just say dark. And that means grab the clothes that's in front of the dark hamper and put it in the dark hamper. And then you'll gradually bring the clothes closer and closer to the middle. So right now, you can sit on your chair. You don't have to kneel like that. You have clothes on both sides of those hampers or toys or whatever, and they should be dark and light if we're doing dark and light. You can also say um, left and right. So what the dogs learn when they're doing this is not just like to understand you, but they learn to listen to you and wait. So there's a focus, there's a lot of impulse control going on here. Perfect. Click and reward with your right hand, Deanie. Good. Hands back on your thighs. Keep your hands nice and still. Now wait for focus before you do anything. Okay, she went. Ask for focus. So watch me. Okay, watch me. Now left hand is, whoops. Watch me. Now left hand is going to move. Watch your left hand. Now say the word first and then point with your left hand before she moves her head. Whoops, we were going to the other side. That's okay. You crossed over. So if you want your dog to put the stuff away on your right, Deanie, you'll use your right hand. If you want your dog to put stuff away on the left hand, you'll use your left hand. And I know this is mirroring. Yep, you got it. Perfect. Okay, do that again. Go back to your right. That's okay. She did both. John, Deanie, keep going. John, I want you to pay attention. Watch how Deanie is slightly leaning to her right and slightly leaning to her left. Those are what we call helper cues. And without saying anything, Bella knows exactly what she's about to say by the way that she carries herself. There it is. She didn't even have to point. Amazing. So now either you're doing dark or light or left or right. I can't tell. Perfect. Her eyes are telling Bella what it is she wants her to do. Use your other hand, Deanie. Yep. If you want left, use your left fingers. Yes. Good. Hands back in default position. Both hands back on the thighs. Wait for Bella to focus before you say anything. You see the little help that Deanie's giving Bella by leaning over John? Nice. Good job. Okay. What are your cues? Just give me a thumbs up. Are you saying dark and light for one? You give me a thumbs up if you're saying dark and light, or is she saying left and right? First one? Okay.
I didn't differentiate between dark and light. I was just saying hamper. So should I say
Yeah.
dark and light
Okay.
now?
Yeah, keep
Okay.
your audio on the way that it is. Don't turn it
Okay.
off. And I want you to just say something different besides hamper, because hamper's a location. Keep your hands nice and still. So you're going to say either dark and light or left and right. Let's just probably do left and right because that might be easier. So her left,
He doesn't know her left from her right.
Okay. Your
Yeah.
right hand with the watch on it, that is okay.
Right,
Left hand points.
right.
Don't cross over. See, you crossed over.
I'm sorry.
She did it correctly. Keep your hands nice and still. First say the cue and then point with whichever hand you want her to, which direction you want her to go.
No, wait. Like, hey, no, listen. I know you're so excited. Sit. Hey, ready? Like,
Yes.
yes.
Click and deliver with your left hand. Okay. Toss the treat towards me to get her to reset and back up a little bit. This is where I might put a mat right in the middle so she has a place to go back to. Okay. Wait for her to
Wait,
focus.
wait. Sit. Here. Sit. Dark. More.
Now point.
Yeah.
Okay. So other hand, deliver the food with your other hand.
Yeah.
Correct. Okay. Hands back in default. Now go back to the other one. She hears
What?
me. She's like, Mom, didn't you hear what she said?
Dark.
Yes,
Yeah.
good.
Very nice. That was very nice. We'll try one more time. Wait. I need to back up. Back up. Now wait. Dark.
Good. Good. Say your cue first and then use your helper or your old cue. So you'll say light and then point with your left hand.
Oh, okay. Fine.
That's good enough. That's close enough. Good. Okay. All right, good. Mark and reward. Okay, now toss the
Like,
treat to reset.
wait a minute. Wait. You are. She anticipates.
Okay, pick up all the toys for a second and let's give her a spot to lay down on. We're just gonna just so you understand how to like get it's a little bit cleaner.
Over here. Wait.
Perfect. Give her a specific spot a little bit further away
Get back up.
so she can really concentrate. Okay. Now you're going to grab all four colors and you're going to put the two whites and the two darks a little closer together. So before they were right in front of the baskets. Now you're going to place them even closer together. Wait for her to focus first. Say the cue, then point with the correct hand.
Dark.
Click treat. Right hand delivers. Back to your spot.
Back to your spot. No. Okay. Place. Like.
Left hand cues. There you go. Nice. Okay. Put her back on the spot. This time, pick up all the four toys and put them closer together. Now, she did it correctly as far as left, right, correct? She just didn't pick up the correct color. which is fine because she understood that dark meant the one on your right and light meant the one on your left. I like that for now. She's doing left, right versus dark, light. Nice. Last one. Good job. Give her the
Yeah.
all done cue. Nice work. So those are the beginning steps of teaching your dog to help out with laundry. So the two big ones, the two big behavior chains or tacks are to have teach your dog to remove your socks. So I recommend standing up and then having your socks on, sitting down in the same chair, and then crossing your legs one way and then cueing it, crossing your legs another way, and then cueing it. Both times she's putting it into the basket that you have right by your chair. So if you can do that for about 2 or 3 minutes, at least one time this week, and get that pattern going, then have John do it the same thing with Bella, seeing if she can get it, then do the same thing with Bonnie. So I would do at least one training session each and then pass it over to John. So Deanie, you cleaned it up, get those repetitions going, and then see if we can really get, oh, let's get the cat involved too. Let's see if we can get them to understand that specific cue. So be careful what socks you put on. Make sure they're not too tight or too much compression. You got a little bit of wiggle room so that they don't bite your toes. So that's your first practice. The second one I'd like you to practice is putting the clothes in two different hampers, whether it's dark, light, or it's left, right, but just being able to drop it into two different things would be a really good way to help with putting stuff that's on the floor away. So make a point, John, to not put your clothes away when you get undressed. Just leave it on the floor and then ask if Bella or Bonnie can help out this week. All right. Keep your sessions under 3 minutes. It's best if you can do this like after you've warmed up your dog for a second. Remember to have fun afterwards. And then film one session if possible and share it within the group. All right, so if you're watching the recording, that is it for our class for today. And next week, we'll go in and we're going to go right into having your dog learn more tasks for helping